Hey everyone, I'm your host Stephanie. Today we're going to talk about the Fibonacci sequence. You can use math to compose your shots, seriously, but don't get scared. It's cool, I promise. The Fibonacci sequence is a series of numbers where each successive number is the sum of the two previous numbers. 1 and 1 become 2, together they combine to become 3, then 5, and then 8. It continues on and on and on. When you visualize the Fibonacci sequence in a graph, it looks like a spiral. Now, believe it or not, the Fibonacci sequence and the spiral that it forms can be used to frame your shots. Let's take a look at how you can do just that.
About 15 seconds. Stand by on 12. 3, 2, 1. Music, mic, yours.
Back in the Middle Ages, the year 1202 to be exact, an Italian man named Fibonacci introduced a series of numbers in one of his books. That sequence of numbers is now known as the Fibonacci sequence, of course. Fibonacci, one of the most famous mathematicians of all time, discovered the sequence by posing a question. The question was, if a pair of rabbits are in an enclosed area, how many rabbits will be born? After we assume that every month a pair of rabbits produces another pair and that rabbits begin to bear young 2 months after their birth. Even though Fibonacci's question seemed kind of unrealistic, it wasn't at all. The sequence that he discovered can be seen throughout all of nature. We can see the sequence in plants like sunflowers, in the shape of hurricanes, and even the shape of galaxies in space. The spiral that the Fibonacci sequence creates is found throughout art, architecture, and nature. If artists and architects are using the Fibonacci sequence, you can too. Heck, you're creating art with a camera, aren't you? You can use the Fibonacci sequence to mathematically frame your shots and make them beautiful. Let's use the rule of thirds that we previously talked about as an example. The 3x3 grid that the rule of 3 utilizes is mathematical and incorporates the Fibonacci sequence to create its grid. Tracking shots in TV movies incorporate the Fibonacci spiral, also known as the Golden Ratio, in order to create perfect shots. Take a look at this still from the film There Will Be Blood as an example. The use of the Fibonacci spiral incorporates all of the subjects of the shot. Many of the shots in There Will Be Blood were filmed with this concept in mind. The shots that use Fibonacci sequence incorporate all of the subjects while simultaneously creating beautiful shots. The Fibonacci sequence adds beauty to the traditional motion of a shot. This shot from Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon should be in a museum. It uses math to create a work of art. The rectangle that the Fibonacci sequence creates is so perfect that it's known as the golden rectangle. The shot itself and the subjects in it create the golden rectangle. Filmmakers can give the subject the perfect framing while guiding the viewer's attention to the right spot. It's a work of art created with mathematics. Mathematics that we can find throughout our world and nature itself. The Fibonacci sequence can and should be incorporated into your shots. The Fibonacci spiral, the golden rectangle, the golden triangle, and perfect circles, they're all created using good old-fashioned mathematics. You might not be a mathematician, but you can see the beauty of it all. I'm sure of that. Use math to frame your shots, and they'll be beautiful pieces of art. Fibonacci and his rabbits guarantee it.